Shapez.io has been one of the few games I've recommended any factory game lover adds to their Steam library. It's beautifully simple in its top-down 2D world and does so much right from the second you jump into the game. But its sequel, Shapez 2, has just been released, and thanks to Shapez 2 for sponsoring today's video, we're going to have a look at whether it lives up to the reputation Shapez.io has set, in my eyes, those 3 years ago. Let's get into it. And here we are. So we've just reached the 4th milestone to do. So we've got past the basic tutorial, which talks about, in fact, we can have a look here, the whole system behind shapes, where you're taking shapes, you're cutting them up and then merging them and stacking them together to create different types of shapes, such as these weird and wonderful ones here. It's only going to get more complicated as we get further into the game, as you can see, but we are currently just dabbling with color. So for this milestone, we need to create 1,200 half circles, 2,000 full circles, 8,000 circles with the blue square underneath them, as well as 2,000 half squares and 1,200 quarter squares. Now we can grab these circles. You can see underneath we have the circle miners. If we were to place an extractor here, you can see that we are producing these circle disc shapes. However, that is not ideal for us because we can't yet extract the paint from these little asteroids here. So instead what we need to do is find a red circle, or as close to, such as this one, which is 3 red and a quarter gray. And we also need to find a blue shape asteroid which has the quarter blue squares. So we have this one here, or even better yet, we have this one here, because we can slice these apart and we'll have double the amount of squares to that one. So what we're going to do now is build a platform. I think it's probably better to go with 2, and we're going to do the same over here as well. And the platform allows us to place our buildables on top of it. So you can see here we can place whatever we would like, but we need a buildable, a platform here, so that when we start extracting, we have somewhere to send the resources to. And then we're going to build a platform doing something like this, creating a conveyor road, and we're going to run it, hopefully. Yeah, let's do it to about here. And from here, we're going to add another platform. And the reason that I'm adding this platform is that I feel we can do the shape in this spot here. So hopefully now, if I start extracting all of these squares and then send them onto this bus, this will take them over to the platform over here, where we can connect them up with these, and then we can start looking at creating those shapes. Now we have our blue and our red shapes here. I've just realized actually this is probably a really bad idea, doing everything on this platform, when actually we could do the red circles over here and the blue squares over here is probably a better option. So instead what I'm going to do is can place our extractors here, and then we can use this shape miner extension. And this is going to shove the minerals from this platform across to this one. Then we're going to do the same over here. So here we have plenty of circles to play around with. The first thing that we're going to do is extract our circles. And because we need to create half circles, we have 2 ways of doing this. We can either cut them, and what this will do is cut one half off and leave us with the half that we actually want, which is the ideal solution actually. And then we can do the same here. Yeah, let's do that. Use our head to save our legs. The only problem with doing it this way is that, speaking of which, to also create a blueprint here. So with this blueprint, we can now, after selecting this, use Control-C to create the blueprint and paste that across. And so now we've just doubled up production. The only problem is that if we want to connect these together to create a whole one eventually, then we're probably going to want to add rotators on the end. But for now, let's be happy with what we've got. We're going to send these across to our main base and then sync these in the vortex, because there's no point creating the larger circles until we've done that. So let's send these back to our base. Now I'm going to use these 2 full lines, and we're just going to run these all the way across to this void here. Now this is kind of our sink. This is where we want to send everything, and we're going to send them there. And then for each item that we send in, it will fill up our requirements. So let's add our conveyor, and we can see here that this is the output of this line. Now, if you have different shapes, they will flicker between the two. But what I love about Shapez is just not only is it simple, it's so easy to just pick up and start playing about, and everything just feels so complete. You won't believe that it's early access. Now, they have more things planned, but it very much plays like a full release game. Right, so while we're here, let's sort out these squares. We need the quarter squares. So for this, we're just going to see if we can do it nice and easily right here. In fact, we could just paste what we had before. You see, the problem here is that we still have a gray piece that we need to cut off. So in order to do that, we're going to have to find a way to rotate them, and then we can cut them again. There you go. We now have our quarter pieces that we need. And now that we have our quarters being produced, we have our half circles as well. And whilst we're waiting for them to fulfill the order, we'll get started on the next item. Now, the other thing that we should be doing at the same time, actually, while we are waiting for these, is probably this pinned task here. So if we go to our tasks, you can see we've done all of these shapes. And as we fulfilled them, we've been given as a reward 2 research points. Now, these research points can then be used. So if we click over here, we can use them to unlock different types of machines. So we have the swapper here, which swaps 2 halves together. We then have the trash, which allows us to destroy excess shapes. And there are upgrades to our belts, cutting, stacking, vortex inputs. All of this is available to us. And then there's even more as well. So you do want to focus while you're doing these milestones on also working on these pin tasks as well. So we're going to now, in order to merge these two together, we're going to have to flip one of these around 180 degrees. We're going to need to use a rotator, and to do 90 degrees, it's just a single one. To do 180, we need to do 2, but we're going to need a few more of these. So let's set up a manifold of 4. And then the next thing for us to do is we need to grab these and merge them. To do that, we need a stacker. And one of the biggest changes to Shapez 2 is that it's a 3D world, so we can now use height. And currently we only have 1 floor available, but you can purchase more. That means we can bring our conveyor up to the top level, and these are going to merge with the lower halves to create our whole circles. Now, it does look like we can add more, so let's just expand this slightly. We'll use that blueprint again to just really quickly expand on this. Connect all of them together. Voila! This is now sorted. So we've got 2,000 of these to do. We now have to do the blue half ones. Probably do a similar system to what we did before. This will only need to flip them once. Okay, and now we have our half squares being produced. I'm going to start working on this 3/4 L shape, and then once both of these are done, we will get back to the next milestone. So I think I've figured this one out. We're going to build another blueprint. And the idea is that we can now stack these. So if we can bring this up, we can then grab our stackers, and there you go. When you work out how to do a factory line, I get so relieved. So that one's going to now start feeding these to the vortex. And hopefully this one's done now. So we're now doing the research for this one and also this one here. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one just yet, or if I'm going to try and increase the speed in which we are producing these, because it is taking a fair bit of time. So I'm looking to expand on the circles really quickly. And one thing that we can do, once we've harvested these, from here, what we need to do is grab our blueprint. Now, the blueprint that we have is the wrong way around. So what we can do, you can also undo, which is fantastic. We can also mirror our blueprints, something that I've not seen many games do in the factory space, which just makes everything so much easier. So all I need to do here is place that down, then run this across to here and connect to these lines like so. In fact, what we can do, I think, if I'm really sneaky, not that we need this many, but we can run these directly into this line, these directly into this line, I can repeat the same. Just makes building such a breeze in this game. And there we go. We will be producing the round circles en masse now. Right, we're going to need to do the same for the blue one. But before we do that, let's unlock our research here. So if we go to the research section, we can find the ones that we've completed and unlock them. And doing so, we get their science. This is really useful because we can then go to our upgrade screen and unlock whichever of these that we prefer. 180-degree rotator, or even the ability to turn it counterclockwise would be incredibly useful. Let's start off with this one. Ooh, I've just seen that this L shape is the same as the one that we had before. The only difference is that they need to be doubled up. If we first of all copy this, so from here, just lift this up, then all we need to do is to stack 4 together. Oh, can you not do a manifold? Can't manifold, merge, and split from the line at the same point by the looks of it. So we're going to run it a little bit further along. 1, 2, 3. How was that? Yeah, fantastic. So we're now working on these. I could still really do with that. I wonder if there is a block here that we can use to make our life easier. Here, you. Oh, fantastic. Let's do that. Let's make this nice and easy for ourselves. So we're going to use just one. I wonder if we can do it like this. We have the platform there, then use these. Oh, nice. The beauty of this, and I don't think you could in the original shapes, was that if you had a big node like this, you wouldn't be able to utilize them all. I may be mistaken there, but I don't think you could. Whereas this system allows you to. So what do we actually need to do with these? We just need to cut them in half. So if we turn these around, there we go. Okay, so with that, we need to run these back to our base. Now, where's home? All the way over there. Ha. And the next thing that we need is to sort out this block, which shouldn't be too difficult, but let's get these sent back to base first. We're now waiting for these to arrive. They're almost here though. What we're going to do is now set up these blue squares. So we'll just remove all of these for a second, and then we can use our new rotator, the 180-degree one, which works perfectly because these are the same. Now, if we run that there, add our rotators so we can have these along here, and this just needs to go up 1 to feed these. And that leaves us with our squares, and then we just need to have our red circles, these ones over to here. Now, I don't know how many of these we can do, but it might be that we can just double these up. So we'll see how that fills up. Whilst we're waiting for that to run and these to fill up, we need to find a half circle that we can cut and merge with this. If we look here, you can see that we no longer need this in order to fulfill any of our tasks or milestones. That's a really nice addition that they've added, so we can see what's benefiting our vortex and what's not. Oh, it's so mesmerizing looking at it working. You can see we have expanded our production considerably. We're now producing everything. Oh, just done this one. We haven't produced this one yet, but we are making some good progress. Oh, and that's going to be really easy to do as well once I work out where it is. So now that these are running, all that we need to do with this one is set up another line of circles on top of them. So we'll run it along here. This section will feed directly into here. Oh, we can't manifold straight after a merging line, which means we'd have to do it along here, which is fine. It's just going to take up a bit more space. Then we're going to need some more circles. Have that one running along there. Then we'll have this next line running in front of that, like so. And oh, would you look at that? It fits perfectly. Snug like a glove. All right, well, It looks like I've got a little bit more work to do so that we can fulfill this 8,000, given we've only done 1,000 so far. I have expanded this factory, and I've also expanded the production of our blue production facility here. And we can't, well, I suppose we could expand on this because we can see that there's saturation, which means there is more room for these. So maybe what I need to do would be to build another platform and then expand on both of these. Can I turn this? Can I delete that? Whoops. So if we do it like that, then we can grab these. Oh, I love the blueprint system. It is just so easy to use, and you can save these if you want as well. It'd be really cool if we could, you know, just copy that. Can I do that? Wait, can I? What? I didn't even know we could do that. That is incredible. I don't want to delete this just yet. So let's build ourselves. Let's go lengthways. From here, we're going to build this. So we have our input this side. Then all we need to do is grab all of that, copy it, flip it. That's already getting started. Sweet. And then to save ourselves time, we can do the stacking system that we've got over here. Copy that, send that back over. Hey, I'm getting the hang of this. This can run along here. This one along here. They will, oh, look at that. We have room for another build. Something very satisfying about optimizing your lines. Because now all we need to do is grab that, copy it, mirror it, rotate it. Bob's your uncle. But we are going to have these here. So these will combine and then send them down. This, I don't know what we're going to do. We don't need this. We don't need that. That can go. Bye-bye. Gonna have to rebuild my whole system now. Now it's the red's turn. All right, how are we going to do this? We can run that there. These go directly into here. This one, straight up. Okay, so there's one. Wonder if we can double up these. I tell you what, half the fun of this game is just optimizing. I'm loving this. Let's add that there. It's just so quick to do. Oh, but that's a problem. The only way I can do that is if I grab this, I'm gonna stick that there. I'll delete that. Bear with me. Place that there. Save that. Place that there. So that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay! And then this is all. Oh, would you look at that? And then all I need to do is connect these up. I don't think we're going to be able to get to the trains by the end of this episode. I'm spending too much time enjoying this. But if you would like to see another episode of us following up on this Shapes 2 playthrough, let me know in the comments and perhaps we'll make that happen. But we need to sort this out now because I'm pretty certain we have the squares and the circles on. Wait, why is there? Yeah, they're all circles now. Okay, so how are we going to do this section? I know, we'll just copy this. Yeah, let's just do that. Run that into there. Run this one to there. Connect these up. Oh wait, what have I done here? Oh no, we don't need this. I'm overcomplicating it because this has got the rotators and everything that we needed in the previous build. Let's just start that over. So all we need is to stack them. So we have space either side if we want to utilize the other lanes. These will just go through like this. Run that along there. Run this one along there. Then we need our circles. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. They're going to head back to base and we can remove this. It's actually a good idea that we remove all of these because with your vortex being here, I don't know if we can get a second vortex, but you want your logistic floors open leading into this so you can make use of this space for any logistics that you need rather than the factory. Of course, with the more advanced shapes, which we would get to later on if we continue this. Look at these ridiculous ones. These, goodness me. With those, you're going to need a bit more space. But that is where our upgrades come from, because if we scroll down here, you can see we can unlock larger foundations. 3x3, logic gates, simulated build. Goodness me, there is so much to play around with here, but that's for another day. Right, so we're now producing a little bit faster these circle discs, red discs on blue squares. So now we just need to wait. And here we are, we have almost done it. We're down to our last 400 of these. What's the next one that we're going to have to do? The blue star and alternating. You definitely need the swapper for one of these. So the swapper costs... Oh, that is typical. that is typical. We need one more point. So we're going to unlock this one shortly. It was just a case of adding circles on top, nice and easy. And there we go, we've finally done it. And we have finished a milestone for this one, which means we can unlock fluids and painting for the next one, should we wish. And the great thing about painting, these look really cool, is that you can combine paints as well. Although I think that's the slightly further along, yeah, color mixing over here. So plenty of fun to be had with that. But we are going to leave it there for this one, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up. If you're interested in checking out Shapez 2, do check it out now. There's no better time whilst we're waiting for Satisfactory, right? I'll put a link to the Steam page below. Thanks again to Shapez 2 for sponsoring this video, but also to all of our amazing supporters on Patreon, most notably our Solarclipse Patreon, Firefless, as well as our Lunas, the Calamity, Ben, and Star, and our Blood Moon of the day, which today is Papa Snoozy. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.